So hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is usually I make a kind of kit review of the items before I build them up. Instead this model I already, as you can see, already finished. It was the Lotus Ford 107 from the 92 season, and it was one of the mighty series that Tamiya made in the early 90s about the Formula One cars. And they were extremely nice because those were full detailed kit made by Tamiya at the time. Of course, it's a model coming from the early 90s, so we are talking of something that is over 30 years old. And of course, indeed, all the quality of the plastics and first of all of the decal sheet that you will have inside is completely depending from the age of the model. I suspect that these have been stored probably in bad condition, or more simply the entire batch, because I read also online comments of other modelers that made the same build. They had problems with this, especially for the decal. It is the biggest issue that you have with those kind of old model. This model indeed had an extra decal sheet provided by the guy that wanted this build from me, and it was a decal coming from Museum Collection. I think it's a Japanese company making decals. Was this decal here? Yes, it's a Japanese decal set. But the problem was that also indeed the Museum Collection decal were completely crap, nearly the same level of the Tamiya decal, so it was just a second shot, a second attempt to try to combine both the decal coming from the box and coming from the Museum Collection. In some points, of course, the decal from Tamiya were completely different in the tones, mostly of the yellow and of the orange. This is a tone of double tone of green. You see there is a lighter green and a deeper green, as well as a yellow and a slightly orange for the surfaces. So the main part of my model, I made it mostly painting all the livery of the car, the basic colors. Of course, the model is provided in a quite ugly bright yellow lemon plastic, that is a little bit tricky to work with, but after the primer is no issues. And then I apply the livery basically for the green and for the yellow, starting of course from the lighter color, that is the yellow, covering the original yellow color, and then apply the decal that indeed were extremely fragile, because despite I have tried all my best to try to save them, I usually apply a layer of transparent coat over the decal, and it have to be a synthetic coat. I suggest for you to use the TF13 from Tamiya. That is quite aggressive, so you have to be kind of smooth when you apply over the decal, because it's really aggressive over the decal. But you don't have the problem that being acrylic and then you place it in water to apply like an ordinary decal, and with the decal film and so on, you can have issues keeping away this layer, because basically you are working on an extremely thin, crispy surface coming from the decal that will be the only one that allow you to place the decal in position and try not to break it. Of course, in some cornering point you see this is a coverage coming and becoming folded in this point, so of course they can broken, and you have to make a painting retouch of it, so trying to find the proper orange color. So it was an extreme nightmare to finish it and to keep it to an end. It was also a kind of one shot one kill. You didn't add any double calling for it. I mean, I say that I have a double decal, but basically all the decal that are coming from Tamiya are completely useless. I mean, you cannot do absolutely anything with that. So the only shot that I had, it was just to use this Museum Collection that was indeed in the same crap quality. I don't think honestly for the quality itself of the Museum Collection, but I think mostly for the age of all this stuff. Probably the collector that bought this stuff in the beginning took the model, and knowing the issue of the decal, also took the extra decal to try to save it. But it was absolutely a nightmare, believe me, to finish this. Despite the model provide a full detailed mechanical part, I never leave my models open to show the parts. I just made for a quite famous model that you can see it online from me. It is the Porsche 956 Jägermeister, that have completely everything that is opening like a real car. But that is honestly a little bit tricky, because every time that you go on touching the model, you risk to damage something. This is extremely delicate and sensitive part. Plus, there is photo etched set all over. If you go closer to the model, you will see photo etched in the front, photo etched for the antenna, photo etched for the interiors, photo etched all over the body, plus the extra photo etched part that I added to the model. So it's extremely delicate to move it and avoid damages. The only extra bits that I did here is a little bit touch of particular stuff. It was the Mikakin and helmet, as you can see there in the cockpit. that was also provided with the decals together with the museum collection kit, but again the decals were completely crap, and it was a real nightmare to work with and to try to keep it to an end and to keep for the ordinary shape. It was slightly better with that decal that I used for the Gilles Villeneuve helmet. That is an helmet that I completed in the 1982 season, and the decal were provided, I think, from Best Barca Kit, the shop in Belgium that make the decal for helmets, but unfortunately they are completely off shape. It looks much more like an helmet for 112 scale, you know, not absolutely for 120. So you have also there to find the deal, and all that helmet have been painted basically by hand, starting with the red color and then covering with the blue, of course. And then I saved the sponsor for SMAG, PM, the stuff that Gilles had on the GPA helmet, and is featuring the GPA helmet used in the during the 1982 season, so it's the last one that he had, so not the first one with Marlboro and Labatt in the front forehead of the helmet. I added to the Lotus small details, the usual stuff, you know, the cables on the rear suspension, carbon fiber all over. There is absolutely no carbon fiber at all in the model. Instead, the car was a 92 racer, so she was completely in carbon fiber. Every debris on this model is in carbon fiber. And what really helped me was the level of the quality of the design of the box art. That was absolutely stunning, because they added a lot of small detail that I could not see from the beginning, like for example all the suspensions here, or the brackets of the suspension that were not included in the model, so I didn't know that there was also this extra part that I should add to the model, like I did there, as you can see. So it was really the completion of everything that I had to add detail to this type of model. I also had a set from Studio 27 to detail the model, but for this specific model they were quite useless too, because they didn't add basically nothing for the exterior part. They just have some details for the interior, for the engine floor, for the exhaust, and something for the radiators, but it was absolutely nonsense to use it, you know. It was also tricky for the rear part of the rear spoiler, you know, because in this old model from Tamiya it was made basically in a single piece, you know, so all the spoiler was basically made in only one black piece, and it was quite tricky to apply the decal over that, plus the photo etch set, plus all the, you see, the settings that they had over the wings. That is absolutely not included in the box. We had to divide everything piece by piece, divide completely, make the develop of the rear spoiler, and make it completely as brand new, and carbonizing everything, place carbon fiber all over. As you can see, there is carbon decal all over the model, you know. I started to recognize that the decal were completely crap when I tried in the beginning to detail the wheels. You know, for me the wheels is a critical point in this model, and they have to be extremely nice. So every time I had the weights, I had the valve, and I had the writings over the tire, you know, to make it realistical, as well as the Goodyear Eagle is now painted with airbrush, you know, it's not a decal. I think it's much more realistic, as well as I apply a coat of light gray to simulate the usage of the pattern of the tire, to simulate something that have been used by Mika Hakkinen, you know. And so that's it. So this is the final build. I'm just waiting, you see, for the wood pin that I left there, just waiting that the final glue will harden during overnight, and then tomorrow I will take the final picture of this wonderful model, you know. It has been an extremely hard journey for me, but I'm really satisfied with the final result. I think the shape is extremely well taken, and absolutely deserve the real appeal, give you the real appeal of this wonderful racer of the 90s. You know, I'm really satisfied with it, and also with the glossy finish of the parts of the body, and the decalizing that, as I said millions of times, have been really a big battle for me this time. But that's it, guys. I hope that you like the video, I hope that you like my model, and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.